Okay, welcome to the August meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. We'll start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll. Can you call the roll, Maria?
Trustee Gray?
Here.
Not yet.
Trustee Solichak?
Yes, here.
Trustee Rizzo?
Here.
Trustee Cook?
Here.
Mayor Gifford?
Here. Yeah, if we could have a moment of silence for one of our friends of the fire department in the village, died a couple of weeks ago from COVID, Roberta Miller. We're gonna miss her. If we could have a moment of silence, please.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Okay, on to other things. We want to recognize Deb Tooley for 20 years of service to the village as a police officer. Deb, if you could come up, Chief.
Whereas Deborah Tooley was appointed the first police officer of the Scotia Police Department on July 17, 2000. Deborah Tooley served various job roles in the police department, violence liaison, where she was instrumental in crafting domestic violence policy of the department. Whereas Officer Tooley has been instrumental with embracing the community policing model by living in her community and developing strong relationships with the community she protected for over 20 years. Whereas Officer Tooley has dedicated herself to her community and proven to be an invaluable employee. Officer Tooley has, by her fair treatment of everyone, helped make the village of Scotia a special place to live and work down to the very last squirrel.
Speech.
Thank you. I just want to say something real quick. I wanted to do these at the award ceremony, but this is her 20-year pen. I bought 2 months back when I was planning it pre-COVID. So I wanted to give it to you tonight. Congratulations. Thanks for your service for 20 years. You did a great job. And you should be proud. First female officer of the department. And she's worked very hard. So we're proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have COVID hugging, sorry.
Good deal.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
click that thing. There you go.
We'll resume the meeting. Item 4 is privilege of the floor. Is there anybody who wishes to be heard at privilege of the floor?
Good evening, Mayor. This is Lynn Trudell. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
What's your last name, Lynn?
Trudell.
Trudell. Hi, Joel. Hi, Lynn.
I just wanted to bring up a couple of things. I think it's great to hear that the police department has their new diversity officers. And I am wondering if there's anything additional that either the police department or the village is going to be doing as far as a community committee, as far as involving any community members in working on the diversity of the village and how to move forward.
We certainly have that in mind to do. The police chief is working on it. Unfortunately, he went off with the others just now. I can't answer that specifically. If you want to give it, well, why don't you call my office in the morning and I'll have you talk to her, or I'll have him talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Is that all right?
Because I wasn't sure if that was something that would come from the village, from like the mayor and the trustees, or is that something that would be done specifically through the police department?
It will be both.
Okay.
I mean, I think it'll be based in the police department, but I'm going to be involved with it for sure.
Okay.
So 374.
Yep.
3195.
195. Okay, I'll give you a call in the morning.
Good.
The other thing is the status of the municipal project.
Yes.
Haven't heard anything lately, good or bad. I think that the bad kind of came previously when it first all kind of started coming out, and it's kind of gone away. Good and bad. I don't know what the process is now. I'm thinking we're not having a vote this month because we can't. But what's the steps moving forward?
Okay, so stick around if you like. I'll be doing a report on that and the mayor's comments to the board later in the meeting.
Oh, okay, good.
So everybody can hear it. If you don't want to stick around for that, I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay. No, that's fine. I wasn't sure. I didn't see it specifically on the minutes, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be in there.
No, we'll get that.
Okay, so I'll talk to you tomorrow about the diversity end of it, and I'll hang out and hear what you have to say about the municipal project.
Good.
Okay, that's it.
Anybody else? Privilege of the floor? Okay, seeing none, we'll close privilege of the floor. Item number 5. We have a resolution to authorize the payment number 1 to O'Connell Electric, Inc. in the amount of $4,750 for waste pump station project contract number 4, electrical construction.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Second, Joe. Any discussion?
I'm gonna abstain from that.
Okay. The clerk call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
I will abstain from this.
trustee Solichak,
Yes.
trustee Rizzo,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Item number 6. We have a resolution to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Tecta American Weather Guard LLC in the amount not to exceed $69.95 for chimney demo and replace metal roofing panels at 589 Bly Road.
I would move the resolution.
I'll second.
Do you have any comment on that, Tom? You just want to make sure it happens, right?
I spoke to Andrew on this, and this is something that was needed on the pre-approved on the Bly Road pumping station. They had some issues on the chimney and the roof, and this will take care of all the problems that we have there.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item 7. We have a resolution to amend the fund year 2021 budget to increase A 5110-2000 by 112,600 to offset by a decrease in A fund balance. Now, what? Remind me what that is.
Is this for the snowplow truck?
Yes, so the funding that was from actually repayment, and at that time it was put into the fund balance. And it is my understanding that it was put in the
Wait,
fund
just, I'm sorry, Justin, your mic's off.
playing Mike Roulette.
Yeah.
The 112,000 is coming from repayment from National Grid for services that were done, or repairs that were done to a previous project. It's my understanding that it was put into the fund balance for the specific purpose of being used to offset the cost associated with this resolution.
Okay, do you want to move it?
I will so move it.
I will second that motion.
You were muted, George. Joe got it. Joe, clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Solichak,
Yes.
trustee Rizzo,
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Okay, item number 8, a resolution to adopt the retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records. So this has to do with what we keep and what we can throw away, and they just changed all our parameters for that.
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion to refer the resolution to adopt retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records LGS-1.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Item number 9. Can we have an authorization to have the mayor sign the union contract with the SCA Local 1000? The DPW contract?
I'd like to move to accept the DPW contract with CAC.
Second, and I came in when Trustee Tiberio left. I came in and was at the meeting that approved this contract, and it was it seemed everybody was very happy with the negotiations that happened prior to it. So I second that.
Clerk, call the roll. Call the
Trustee
roll.
Gray,
Yes.
trustee Solichak,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Rizzo,
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Item number 10, we're going to table. Item number 11, mayor's comments to the board. So the Citizens Committee relative to the building project has been working hard. We went through, as I reported to people last month, we went through the whole village and picked out 26 different parcels. So we now have a spreadsheet that has all the parcels and their various attributes. We have the attributes rated so that we can go down through and score parcels. The idea is, and we'll have this all available as soon as we get everything scored and determine what our winners are. We'll make the whole spreadsheet available for everybody to look at, and see how we got there. And with any luck, we're going to have it certainly all out in the open, and we hope to allay the fears that people had before that they were trying to sneak things in on us.
The
So
volume's terrible.
it's a pretty impressive quantity of work, and this team has done for us, and we're pretty happy. I think everybody else will be too. So we will have this rating done within a couple of weeks. I think we will. The earliest we can have a vote is September 15th, according to the governor. I think we're going to try for something close to that. It may or may not be a bond resolution. We're working on an alternative to that. So we'll be, but I think everybody will be happy with the solution. From everything we've heard, everybody in the village believes that the story we've been telling for a long time is not fiction like some of the stories we get from politicians. And that we really need a new fire station, and really need a new police station, and really need a new clerk's office, at least updated, because this building is antiquated and dangerous. So we hope to do all that. We hope to do all that without completely breaking the budget. But we are aware of the fact that it's been 100 years since anybody's done anything with these buildings, and at some point something has to be done, and we think this is now. So I'm pretty optimistic, and I hope you will be too in another week or so when we get these out. Next thing is I need to report on the fire truck. I guess I should, yeah, so our main engine, having nothing to do with the floor, has had a fuel leak over the last few days, and we fixed that, and the fuel leak developed in another spot, and they fixed that, and it developed in the same spot again. So we definitely have a problem. We're stuck without the use of the main engine right now. Fortunately, we have a backup that works fine. But it does point out the necessity of keeping our inventory up. So that's my report for today. Thanks, everybody. Item number 12, correspondence, liaison, and special committee reports. Justin?
Yes, so.
Wait, unmute.
Oh. There we go, unmuted. So on behalf of DPW, I want to just let everybody know that the men and women of the DPW are continuing to work hard, keeping our water running, our streets safe and clean. One thing I do want to also bring to attention that the sidewalk program, looking at the report, is being used this year. So we're getting homeowners as well as property owners in the village taking advantage of this reimbursement program that we have. I also want to give a thanks and a shout out to Andrew and his team, for monitoring the tall grass situations that have been going on. And being very compassionate about it during COVID-19. It's clearly one of the benefits of people being home is that they have time to keep up on their lawns. And we haven't had many issues arising around the village lately with that. I'm actually happy to say that I'll have my first meeting as liaison with the Scotia Business Improvement District next month. I'm excited to formally sit down with the members of the BID
This has been a very difficult, trying time over the last several months for our small businesses along Mohawk Ave in the corridor, as well as small businesses throughout the village. So on their behalf, I want to encourage everyone to shop local, support local, and we have an incredible corridor here of businesses that could use our support. One of the best ways that we can continue to do this and kind of move forward with phase 4 is following all recommendations from the CDC as well as New York State, wearing our masks, keeping distance, enjoying outdoor patios when possible. So it requires all of us to kind of step up and do our part to keep these businesses open, because lives and livelihoods depend on that. So that is all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. George?
Yeah, thanks. Just to add on to what the mayor said about the facilities report and the facilities project, it's been great to work a little closer with the members of the committee, the facilities committee, and the committee that are represented by residents and business owners here in the village. They have been put some very cautious thought into the selection and to the determination of what's going to fit into the framework that we have, since they worked so hard before. And so it's important to note that they are, the facilities committee is doing the majority, if not 99% of all the work. The mayor and I are just providing information and vetting a couple of questions in regards to properties. We are not really involved in the decision process at all. The framework, the rating structure has all been determined by the committee and not by the village directly. So it's good to have that involvement from the residents and not individually from the village alone when we're talking about site selection. The need's obviously there, and the need's very prevalent with all of our departments and our department heads. So we're trying to do our best to vet and provide the best facilities and options available. Our parks department, we were going through the bills tonight, and we see that there's a very active goose remediation project still going on. It's nice to have a combination of efforts there with the non-lethal efforts with trained dogs to abate the issues down there with the geese. And I still have to meet up with the family who's donating some historical items that they found in their grandmother's attic when they were cleaning it out. So I look forward to bringing that to the village in the near future. So thank you for everyone's support.
Thanks, George. Heather?
Report from the clerks. The village hall is officially closed, but the summer hours are till the end of the summer. Labor Day will be 9 to 4, and I encourage everyone to give a call to Village Hall. Just as a reminder, the telephone number is 518-374-1071. If you want to stop down, I encourage you to call before, and they'll assist and greet you at the door. The tax bills are still due. They can either be dropped off Dropbox or through the mail. And again, just give a call ahead, and we'll try to accommodate everyone. It's a pressing time, but we're trying to all get through it. Update on the library. I want to commend everyone who's involved in that. I'm on the library board for the County of Schenectady, and while I'm walking through the park, there's great progress. I'm told that the library should be completed in spring. So we'll look forward to that. It's a job that's been in the works for some time, so thank you. Report from the town of Glenville. As you recall, I mentioned in the last meeting that Glenville was trying to select a Glenville town flag in honor of the 200th anniversary. There was 453 residents that have voted. 94 voted specifically, which was for first place, the blue and white striped background. And you can contact the town hall if you would like a home edition of the flag. Also, the town of Glenville in mid-July did announce that unfortunately the 2020 Oktoberfest and Thursdays in the Park concerts have all been postponed. Both events will be picked up next year, but due to COVID, unfortunately, they cannot take place. Report from the police department. I have met Chief Harrigan on several occasions. There's a lot of changes going on, as we're all aware. First, the Village of Scotia police department has formed a new Facebook page. I believe there will be further social media in the months to come, but I encourage all of you to go ahead and like the Village of Scotia Police Department page. There is also availability for comments, just like any other profile page. So with the 2 new public information officers, these are the patrol officers. They will have dual positions. They will be under the leadership and training of Chief Harrigan, and that they will be reporting on social media and on the website, things such as press releases. But this is a new developing project, so stay tuned for that. But I would like to congratulate 2 officers, Officer Peckham and Officer Peck, that again, they will be serving dual roles as necessary with regards to the public information officer. So I look forward to that. There's a lot of training and new direction that we're taking in the Village of Scotia to comply with changes in our community. Also, with regards to the legislative changes, there will be, I believe, 3 community coordinators that are also the patrol officers. And I would like to congratulate Officers Peck, Falkowitz, and Eckert with regards to being on this board. We're going to have a board, and I believe privilege of the floor, Ms. Trudeau maybe was looking for this information, but Mayor, I know that you'll follow up with her tomorrow as indicated. But this board hopefully will be in place by around April of next year, and it will be comprised of 8 to 10 individuals in the community. And this is just, hopefully we're seeking to endeavor a closer relationship with the community and the officers to go out and see how they can be more valuable and see how they can be more effective in the community. So more to come on that in the developing months. Also, the unfortunately, the Zone 5 Academy was not able to have their graduation at Freedom Park during the graduation, which I believe was August 4th due to the weather, but congratulations to all the graduates. The police department did receive a public traffic safety grant in the amount of $5,400 that comes from the state. And that is going to go towards training and enforcement. All the officers, the entire force also, they were able to complete their firearms training at the Rotterdam range. And Chief Harrigan and I spent a lot of time developing the website in which, Mayor, you wanted us to report back. We have a lot of great ideas. I know Chief Harrigan did mention previously that he did make some preliminary updates on the website, but we bounced around a lot of good ideas. So more of that to come in the future. Also, I'm sure everyone has seen the traffic trailers deployed on Sunnyside Road, on Washington Avenue, and on Glen Avenue. And again, I think Trustee Cook mentioned, everybody be careful. Speeding, the patrols are out and the trailers are out, and to be mindful of your speed, especially on the new paved roads that are wonderful, that were done by the DPW.
Heather,
Yes.
the trailer was out on Shawnee Avenue a couple of weeks ago, and I got it up.
Yes.
I got it up to 22 miles an hour on my bicycle. And Dan gave me a ticket.
I'm just checking to see if that is, it's a lot of information, so just bear with me. I want to make sure that I've hit everything. I did also just want to give Deb a shout out again for her 20-year service. She's been an outstanding community officer, and I want to commend her also for being the first female officer in the Village of Scotia. So thanks again. Everybody stay safe during this COVID time, and stay well. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe?
We had a Holiday on the Avenue meeting, and we have discussed two different options for Holiday on the Avenue. One of the options were if we were trying to get all the merchants to really decorate the village up this year, including the lampposts and lights in their businesses. And if we can have Holiday on the Avenue on the street, we will. But the other idea we have was to bring a Christmas parade with Santa Claus and have him go around the village so people could, so he can greet all the kids in the village and everything. We're talking with the merchants to see if they could possibly put in some like small floats with their names on them, and we can go around the village like the high school did when they graduated. Unfortunately, we do not have the manpower to watch people going into the stores and to the churches to monitor people going in and out. So we're thinking of different opportunities to do, and this is one of them that came up, and it looks like it's very doable. So we're working on that to try to get that done, and I'll report back to you when we get to the next meeting. The other things we're working on the codes, the new code enforcements that we're trying to put together. We would probably maybe have a rough draft for maybe our work session so we can look it over. We also are looking at the fence codes for the village so we can have a standardized fence height and all the particulars that go with that code. And I got some information from Lewis this afternoon, so we're going to try to put that together also. And I spoke to Chief Omni about the policy for burned out buildings like the one on Bruce Street. We do not have a policy in place, but we are working on putting one into place between the chief and Lewis, saying what should be done and the proper procedure to follow. And as soon as we get a rough draft, we will give it to Ken and Lewis to look over, and then we'll bring it out to the board. So those are the things we're working on, and we hope to get this thing rolling as soon as possible, and we'll get this all done. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Joe.
And I would like to thank, again, we've had numerous people thank the Turf Tavern for hosting the Freedom in the Park concerts at their banquet hall. I talked to a number of people that actually tuned in on the Facebook page and the YouTube page, and they really enjoyed it. But it's not like sitting outside and listening to live music. But we really want to thank the Turf Tavern for stepping up and helping Freedom Park put on the concerts that they're doing this summer.
Thank you.
That's it.
Item number 13, departmental reports. Can we have a motion to accept them?
I would make the motion to accept the department reports with thanks.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 14, budget adjustments for the month of June.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget adjustments from.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 15, audit of claims. Can we have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Solochuk,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Rizzo,
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Item number 16, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 8th regular meeting?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of the July 8th meeting.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 17, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 20th special meeting?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of the July 20th, 2020 Village Board of Trustees special meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 4th special meeting?
I make the motion to accept the August 4th, 2004 Village Board of Trustees special meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 19, new business. Andrew, do you want to go ahead with your proposal?
Yep, sorry. So I had a call with DOT yesterday, and we've got two projects that were selected for the TIP. This was a year ago or so. It's a very slow process. One being the Sunnyside Bridge, which is a big one for the village, and the other one is the Washington Avenue pedestrian path. So the next step in that process, so the TIP, which is Transportation Improvement Project, is a 5-year plan, and each project is assigned different years according to funding and a lot of different factors. The next step in that process is to select consulting engineers for both of those projects. And so I just need, after discussing with Lydia and Glenn at CDTC, just need authorization just to go out with an RFP to get that consulting engineer for both of those projects.
So we're not spending any money, we're just starting the process going.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the money has been awarded. It's a substantial amount, especially with the bridge project. How to fund our match, which has not been determined at that point. There's a minimum amount, or I'm sorry, a maximum amount for that match. It could be less. It would be forthcoming, but the first thing we have to do is get the engineer on board to start the project with DOT.
Okay. So can we have a motion to put these out for bid or out for proposal?
I would like to make the motion to adopt the resolution to begin the RFP processing for this project.
These projects.
Projects.
I would like
I'll
to
second.
second that motion.
George on that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Justin's been working on a local law that will, if approved, make an exception to our open burn law. If you want to describe that, Justin, if we can, it's what we're doing is if we decide to do it tonight, we propose the law, and then next month we have a public hearing and vote on it.
So I want to begin by first thanking Chief Almy as well as Lewis, our building inspector, for their expertise and suggestions for this process, as well as Lydia for drafting the language. This amendment to the local open burn law would essentially add 2 subsections to the exception clauses within the local law. So I'll go ahead and I'll read the language. I'll be sure to email this language out to everybody to review. It says, be it enacted as the Board of Trustees of the Village of Scotia as follows. Section 1, Vehicle Code Chapter 121, outdoor burning is amended to add paragraphs E and F to Section 121-4, exceptions as follows. E is portable LP gas appliances and equipment of all types that are not connected to a fixed fuel piping system, aka propane fire table pits, so long as they are placed on a non-combustible surface at least 20 feet from a residential structure. F is recreational fire tables fueled by natural gas, so long as it's in compliances with all other New York State and local laws and regulations. Section 2, this local law shall become effective immediately, and obviously that's once adopted. E really is for the recreational fire tables that are fueled by traditional propane tanks, oftentimes found with gas grills. And then F here is geared towards permanent structures that require a permanent installation and relocation of gas line piping in the backyard. New York State code, as well as public safety code in New York, is pretty thorough into the regulations around that. So Lewis made the suggestion to make sure that we have in our local law that the state law and anything that may become adopted as state law takes precedence over the installation, permitting, as well as inspection of these permanent fixed structures. Something tells me section E is going to be the more common type that we'll find in the village, because F is really expensive to do and not something you can purchase at Lowe's or your local hardware store.
Thank you. Can we have a second?
I'll second.
that. Heather.
Heather, you got it.
Justin and I talked about it for a long time.
So this is just to schedule a public hearing for next month, right? Is it?
Yes.
Lydia, is there anything else we have to do with that?
No, for tonight, it's just being introduced and scheduling the public hearing for next month.
Okay. All right. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any other business?
Yeah, I just want to bring up to ask if anybody has looked into the Maryline water problem that they're having down there. I was called by Rick Leclerc, and Mayor knows this problem, and I know there was a couple down the street from Rick's place that are having a water problem. It was ever since the road was repaired and brought up to a different level. They're having problems with water drainage on their property. They called me over there to look at it. Actually, it looked like a small pond in the front of their house. And on Rick Leclerc's property, the water was actually coming in 3/4 of it in one of his lots. And it looks like right now it's eroding the blacktop. on the roadside that you can see where the water is washed out from underneath. And I think this ought to be addressed if possible to keep everybody happy and get that water out of there somehow. And also there was another couple down the street from them that were having water issues when it rained in their yard again. And I think we ought to sit there and look at and see if we could rectify this problem. They have been complaining all along, and when I was out there looking with Rick LeClaire, the one resident came over to us, and I walked over to his house, and this is right after the rainstorm, and literally his whole front yard was covered in water. And then just down the road a bit from another resident's house, he had the same problem. I think we ought to look into it and see if we can help fix this problem, because if it rains hard enough, the one neighbor said that the water comes almost close to the house, and that was done ever since they raised the road bed. So I'm wondering if we could do something to help these people out.
So I'll look into it, Joe, some more, but I mean, this is by nature an unimproved street. And that's what they bought into when they moved there. Putting a storm sewer in is hugely expensive.
Well,
don't have
it's not we don't have to go as far as a storm sewer. If we can make some type of a gully over there to bring the flow of the water to the front of on the point of that street where there's a storm sewer, the water would just go into the storm sewer. I don't think we need to go ahead and put storm sewers on the property. If we can divert the water out, I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So be it.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Good night.
See you later.